Hi there, I'm Vicky. I'm glad you're here. Today I have an absolutely filthy gel plate and glass mat and acetate sheet, and I'm going to show you how I get these clean again. So I've just finished a gel printing session, and it was quite a long, lengthy process because I was doing lots and lots of prints, and then I got called out of the studio suddenly, so everything dried. So I thought it was a great opportunity to clean up and show you what you need to keep your gel plate really clean. First of all, I brayered off some of the paint onto this palette paper, and this is my new favourite palette paper. I really like this Canson paper. It's 9 by 12 inches, so it's a good size, and you get 40 sheets. But I have this silicone dish that is the perfect size for dunking my brayer into, and just using some hand soap and some warm water or even hot water. I think as hot as you can stand it on your hands. And I just roll that around and then leave it to soak, because I find that's the best way to come back later and really get your brayer clean. Today I'm going to be using some hand sanitizer and just some water from a spritzer bottle, and some regular hand soap, or you could use dish soap for this as well. I also have some baby oil, and I'll show you how I condition my plate. So you can see the paint that's on it. This is dried acrylic paint that's on my plate. So I'm going to spray it so that it becomes a little bit moist, and I'm going to use this 70% hospital grade hand sanitizer, and I find the 70% works really well on the gel plate. You can see how filthy the barren is over there on the right hand side too. It's really dirty as well, so this is the perfect opportunity to have a good clean up. So I'm using a paper towel, and you can see that blue dried acrylic paint is coming off quite easily on one side of it. And I wanted to use a paper towel because I want to throw this paint away. I don't want to put it through the wash. I just want to throw it away. I'm cleaning both sides of the plate. And you want to make sure you do both sides, because now I can see there's still some blue left on the other side that I need to pay extra attention to. The other part of your plate that's really key is the edges, because this tends to be where the paint builds up. And if it builds up over time, it will get quite grungy there. Now, I've tried to clean the bottom of my speedball barren with the hand sanitizer, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to bring in a nylon scrubby. And this nylon scrubby has a sponge, a soft sponge on one side, and the green side is a nylon scrubber. And I wouldn't use this on my gel plate because the nylon side will damage your gel plate. But I do need something with a bit of tooth to clean off the barren so that it's nice and smooth and can glide over the surface again. It actually had some glue size and some gold foiling on it, so it was really tough to clean this down. But I did manage to clean it without scratching the barren at all. And I've managed to clean the paint off the wooden handle as well. So I'm really happy how that turned out. It's looking as good as new, so I couldn't be happier with that. So make sure you don't use that green side on your gel plate. You can use the soft sponge on it, but not the hard side. It will make scratches on your plate. I like using a chucks roll and just tearing off a piece of that chucks to clean it with. It's nice and soft and it won't damage your plate. And I'm going to use some more hand soap or dish soap if that's what you prefer. Often you'll see hand soap and dish soap marketed as one and the same. I think it's pretty much just a gentle way of cleaning your plate. I've had this particular gel plate for about 7 years. It's a Ranger gel plate, and it originally came in a clamshell. But how I store my plate so it's out and ready for me to use, because I do so much gel printing these days, is on a glass mat with the original sheet of acetate that came in the clamshell over the top to protect it from dust and dirt. Now I'm going to use baby oil to condition the plate. So just put a good amount on and get a clean cloth. This time I'm using paper towel. And I'm just going to spread that all over both sides of the plate and along the sides. And this will keep your gel plate in good condition. I love printmaking, and I've learned a lot of different printmaking techniques using a press, using the gel plate, doing monoprints, and doing some dendritic printing, which is another favourite method of mine. And a lot of these same techniques can be used to clean up your surfaces as well as your gel plate. Now you can see how filthy that acetate sheet is. It has dried paint, mainly on one side. So I'm going to clean that off now too. So I'm bringing in the hand sanitizer again, and this lifts your paint off straight away. This is acrylic paint, dry, that's been left to dry for probably 3 or 4 days. And you can see how it comes off quite easily, and I'm just using a paper towel there. Adding a bit more hand sanitizer. And it's a nice, smooth, slick surface, so it's easier to clean it off the acetate than it is off the gel plate because it's a slipperier surface. So I'm just making sure it's as clean as possible, and that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to put my gel plate onto that acetate piece so that I can clean the glass plate next. So the glass plate on the left here is a kitchen chopping mat. It's a glass mat that you would use for chopping your fruit and vegetables on. And I use this to keep my plate on so that it doesn't pick up any dirt or dust from my work surface. So I'm going to use the scrubby again, and I'm going to use that green nylon scrubby side to pick up any bits and pieces from the glass mat. And there's all sorts of things on this mat. There's a little bit of gold paint, there's a little bit of the blue, there's things from a lot of other projects that I did earlier that have different coloured paint on it as well. So it's going to be a great before and after of how clean I can get my materials. So just using the nylon side and getting it nice and clean. And that looks pretty good. Just making sure it's completely spotless. I have several different size gel plates. This one is, I think, the most versatile. I have a 5-inch square plate, I have a 3-inch round plate, I have a 5x7 plate. But I find if you have a nice big plate like this, you can do smaller projects on it as well. So this is 9 inches by 11 inches. This is a Ranger gel plate. You can even make your own gel plate. There are plenty of recipes for handmade gel plates online. I have never made my own gel plate. I just like being able to use something that's already been created for me. You can see when you put your gel plate down that you need to line it up so that the edges are a little bit straighter. You'll never get completely straight edges on these. That's part of the charm of the gel plate, that it's a bit wonky, and I love that about it. I think that's really cool. So here goes the acetate sheet over the top. This is very much cleaner than it was when we started. If you found this tutorial useful, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. There are plenty of gel printing videos on here, as well as card making, mixed media, paper craft, and all sorts of fun projects. Thanks so much for joining me today. Enjoy your gel plate, and look how filthy it was, all the stuff that we cleaned off it. Yay, I couldn't be happier. So thank you very much. I'll look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, happy gel printing. Bye for now.